like a... What is that dissonance? Before we jump into reacting to G-Idol, we wanted to let you know that we were able to film and edit this video thanks to our Patreon.
Since we are unable to monetize any of our React videos on our channel, it is our Patreon that keeps us improving, growing, and running.
Yeah! We have a lot of interesting and exclusive content on our Patreon, including uncut reactions to this song, reactions to Japanese releases, live performances, and more. Full list of exclusive videos is pinned in the comments below.
If
you
enjoy
our
content,
we
would
really
appreciate
it
if
you
can
support
us
on
Patreon
at
patreon.com/react to the K.
Joining
our
Patreon
is
completely
optional.
You
can
also
support
us
by
leaving
a
like
or
a
comment
down
below. Let's get to reacting now.
We will, for the first time, be comparing two songs in one video, except they are the same song. The second one is rearranged and it's the Nightmare version of the first song. The original version, which you'll be reacting to first, was released as a B-side on their 2019 I Made album. The lyrics express the denial one feels when they learn their significant other doesn't love them anymore, as well as the heartbreak of the relationship ending. The song is composed by Houdini and the leader of the group, Soyeon.
Houdini.
Wait, Houdini?
When you guys are ready, count down. Oh wait, is he?
What happened?
Okay, he's in front, we're good.
I am?
No, I mean the skeleton.
Oh.
3, 2, 1. Oh my god, I love when they have. Oh.
Oh, it did the thing. A major 4.
I love how she like lifts it, like na na.
I like how simple it is to start off. We're gonna build.
Oh, I do like that backwards recording sort of sound. Yeah. Also, how the voices blended into that sound was really, really nice chaining.
Kind of swung. The vocals.
I still feel in suspense, which is nice.
Super, super clean and crisp harmony there.
Oh, that's cool. I like it right here at the end. There's just that last little linger. There's pain in that.
For real. And there's emotion. There's crazy emotion.
Yeah. That bass is great.
Yeah, I think the ending articulation gets a nice rhythm.
Wow, this is beautiful.
I'm in love with this. I really am.
사랑했었던 네 맘을 채웠던 난 지금 죽을 것 같은데 너 멀어질까 날 멀어질까
I like that shattering sound. Yeah. I mean, it's a cymbal, but it felt different from any cymbal that I've ever heard before. Yep.
It's kind of like a mountain, the way that they phrase the melody here. It's coming back down now.
Yeah.
And then there's just that little linger.
싫다고 말해 사랑하지 않는다고 말해봐 내 맘이 떠날 것 같지 너가 미워질 것 같지 좋다고 말해 아니 사랑하고 있다고 말해줘 좋았던 그때와 같이 이젠 사랑할 순 없니
Beautiful.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Like,
was
this
first-
is what I look for.
Yeah,
like,
it was the first
is-
K-pop song I've heard that reached a lot of different
Yeah,
levels
this
of
is-
emotional connection.
It's so interesting
That
because, damn, this was something else.
My favorite, I have like a few. So like what I first thought when I heard this, I don't know if this is the right way to put it, but like the articulation of like how the singer sang the very first part. She articulates the second one a lot less. She kind of fades instead of like ta ta, like ta ta. So yeah, so I thought that created like a really like sweet texture, and hearing that this is about like breakup and end of relationship, it creates that like nostalgic feel kind of a thing.
This is like probably the most.
Oh, goosebumps?
Yeah, goosebumps.
Ooh.
I really like the melancholy and even like desperation feeling. I can really feel the emotions in her singing because I like have been through like some relationship sad stuff. I just really loved how the whole song has such a clear separation and clarity. Like not every instrument is like fighting against each other. It's just only the vocals and everyone's just like supporting the vocals. It makes me feel like more goosebumps going on. And the bass drum is like very deep under the water that I can feel like it's my heart pounding, like something like that.
I like how the bass, it sustains always for the same amount of time, and the cutoff is very strong. Dee, dee, dee. That's very good.
Yeah, I was thinking about what you're talking about with the bass cutoff, giving it more rhythmic aspects. I think when you said it was stiff, I feel like that contributed really greatly to that because there's no syncopation. It was just very robotic and sort of like a like Toy Soldier sort of thing. But then when it went into, I liked how they introduced more interesting rhythmic aspects and interesting bass syncopation especially. I think gave it a really different sense of groove, but it still felt like the same song, like there was continuation throughout. But the bass syncopation at the end was really nice to hear.
What moved you emotionally? Like, what aspects of it?
I think partially it is having that kind of whisper. So when you're not fully on the voice, the core of the voice, you can almost sense there's something timid about it, right? Or that it's not as like powerful, like I'm gonna belt this out for you. But I also think like this is more digital, but the echo or the reverb creates that space of like, I'm alone, you know, like you're in this like big space.
I completely agree. I was gonna actually talk about that feeling of isolation as a result, and also kind of in addition to adding to that atmosphere of isolation, it felt like this was so much of like a unit rather than a bunch of individuals. It felt like they all were having a shared experience that they were emoting to, rather than all of them talking about their individual experiences. And I thought that was really powerful.
I don't know, it didn't really feel like super sad singing. It sounded more like gotta move on with life, but it kind of stinks feelings, which is very real.
I disagree.
You disagree? What did you think, Cloud?
It gives me like driving through the city at night, like alone in your car vibes.
Oh.
Like I would do that to this song. And that is very much
I
like
agree
this
with that.
this would go on
I
my
agree with
like
that.
emotions playlist, and that's not my move on playlist. That's my like stew in your emotions, be sad, and like just let yourself feel.
No, I
And then
like what
move
you said,
on.
but that's kind of captures how what I was trying to say.
They're also very expressive with how they sing. Part of it might be because like we have the lyrics right there, but you can just kind of feel all of the emotion that they're putting into that.
I think even without the text, you'd feel it.
Yeah, I think that in combination with the atmosphere that they're creating, that's a powerful song. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
The number one sign to me when something is different and hits is when I don't have to read the lyrics. So when I can understand an atmosphere of emotional sensitivity from the artist, and I don't have to read the lyrics, and especially when I don't even understand the language, that means it works. Because music isn't just, music is a language in which it's supposed to convey the human condition and the emotions that we feel. And when I can hear that and feel it simultaneously, that means the artist is doing their job, and a good job at that. The way that they layered the atmosphere and the sound, they had like the old record player kind of spotty sound going. They had a lot of like E-piano kind of messing with EQ to get things to, like a lot of reverb stuff. And I also thought what was interesting was like when she was, and there was also some chords in there, and the chord progressions were fucking, like, they were good.
Do you guys have any predictions for the Nightmare version of this?
Something that I've learned about spooky sounds is that there's no mid. The idea is that if we hear a really low sound, like a subwoofer or whatever, and then a really high sound at the same time, but nothing in the middle, our brains kind of get unsettled by it, because that doesn't happen in nature. And two, if it did happen in nature, it'd be like seeing a tiny bunny with a lion's roar or something, but just a very unsettling thing that we don't really know how to deal with. So I wonder if they're going to do something with that.
We'll see.
You are now reacting to the Nightmare version of Put It Straight. The Nightmare version debuted on the female idol group competition show Queendom during a round where each group rearranged and performed one of their songs. You'll be watching the dance practice video they released after Queendom ended as a Halloween gift to their fans. This rearrangement is done by Chun and, once again, the leader Soyeon.
Do it. I want to suck your blood.
Oh, a thunderstorm.
싫다고 말해 사랑하지 않는다고 말해봐 내 맘이 떠날 것 같지 너
It doesn't start with chords this time.
Good point. Yeah.
Oh.
좋다고 말해 아니 사랑하고 있다고 말해 좋았던 그때와 같이 이제 사랑할 순 없니 네 눈빛은 대답을 건네고
Yeah, this is Nightmare.
미안한 듯 한숨만 내쉰다
But I can't look away. Oh, Jesus.
The clock's burning!
Wow, I feel like the atmosphere is completely different.
Yeah. The static, the little inserts of like static.
Yeah.
I like all this percussion that they put in it. It just makes it creepier.
Dang, this is so creative. This is wild. What is that?
So good.
What is that dissonance?
C flat.
Yep.
Normally that would sound bluesy, but in this case, this sounds a little unnerving.
What?
This is my favorite section of the song so far. The use of silence is great.
I'm so scared right now.
Yeah, the constant pulsation in the bass like definitely makes it more anticipatory and creepier.
god, that's terrifying.
That was so eerie! They waited so long!
I like the 2 lines. That's very cool.
This is literally my anthem.
Nice. It's very jarring, the sudden a cappella.
Oh, how they ended that was really cool.
It's powerful.
That's so different! But it was the same!
I was a little disappointed that I was not featured in the video. Nobody was a skeleton.
Oh.
But
Like what?
that's okay. Excuse me.
No, keep
It's
going.
funny, she'll be put on the other side of the screen, so you might want to turn Skelly the other way.
Excuse me. Okay, one thing I will say is right in the beginning, rather than that super calming aesthetic record from the last one, which was so, emotional and it really captured the atmosphere, what was about to come. This one's like almost the wind, like rustling the leaves, and then thunder. Halloween. But that's something they did. Here is other thought that I had. The usage of silence was insane, actually, in this one. They did a lot of rhythmic things where they would stop, and there would be complete silence, and the reverb would just slowly die, and then boom, then come back in. They do like a triplet. They do like some type of triplet like lead in. It was pretty cool. But yeah, their use of silence, and it's something I noticed in the beginning too. Is almost like they had this. I couldn't hear exactly what the instrument was, but it was. I think it was like an E piano, but it was like pizzicato with her voice, so it was kind of eerie and this creepy flavor. Just in the beginning.
You know how we were talking about isolation and how the echo added to the isolation? I felt like there was so much of that in the percussion in addition that you felt almost fear, and that was really cool. I also liked in the breakdown there was like a distortion in the piano where it was like a little bit off pitch to add to the unease, and I thought that was really effective.
As a sort of dance studio vibe, I think it turned out how I thought. I liked the rap section most with the color, and also the movement. I feel like I got into the song more. I feel like the rest of it felt like I was removed and sort of watching what was going on. But I think with the camera movement, her being right in your face with the rap, that felt like you were there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think the second half of the song, a lot of the elements introduced in the first half got integrated better. I think they introduced a lot of dissonant ideas, which I like, but I thought that near the end they could have developed it even further. I was hoping for the psycho to kick in, to go straight into that just complete dissonant territory, because there was enough energy near the end with all the sort of instruments that were in the background coming to the forefront. So like basically it was very simple. So and then near the end it was eventually have all the violins go, and then maybe have a cutoff into like the acapella, because they did the jarring thing, they went back to the acapella. Even if they had to like turn down the level by a few notches, like they don't want the dissonance to be that piercing, just have something like this in the background. Just see, I'm not even choosing my notes here. Just something like that. The original Psycho was like the, but maybe something even more like clustery. Yeah, the background would be nice.
More clustery, or just even letting the string section do whatever they want instead of a day in the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Just kind of
a day in the lifestyle, Beatles.
That sort of thing.
Yes.
Or that's the whole point of atonality, is to just like get the emotion out in ways that you can't necessarily with tonality. And I think they were getting to that level, but they definitely could have crossed the threshold.
Mm-hmm.
When you if you're in middle or high school and you don't really know your place in the world, and you see your crush in the hallway, and you're both simultaneously really attracted, but also really terrified. It's kind of how some of this made me feel, because they're real beautiful, but I'm also like really scared. The singing's beautiful, but I'm also really scared. And the dancing looks awesome, but I'm also really scared. That's to say, they did a really good job. I don't know where it was, where it had that first tempo change.
The fast forward part?
Yes, the fast forward part. That is so evocative of horror films. Namely, there's a special film technique, this is all I've learned, that if you want to get that like creepy kind of disjointed human movement, all you do is record someone moving really, really slowly and then speed it up, and it looks really like alien disjointed movement. Because if you try to move slow, you'll like pause here and there. So when you speed that up, it looks really creepy. And that felt like exactly what they did, but musically, by speeding it up. I don't know if it was double time or whatnot, but they kept almost everything. It wasn't just like, we're gonna put a faster beat to it, but everything sped up.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool as hell. The last refrain, when there's literally like, you've got the melody, then you've got like the weird do 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 do, like strings are definitely bowed, and then there's this synth sound that's almost like, it's very indicative for me of like the skeleton bones when you do like the marimba thing, but it also almost sounds like coleño, which I guess also just sounds like skeleton bones. And then there's like a counter melody on the bottom that someone is singing, and that sounds so good.
They're all repeated material. So they
because I know we've heard that in a different.
And then and they just played at the same
time. They put that in the instrumentation,
together.
and it's super creepy because during the major parts, da, 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 there's a lot of crazy dissonance, and I didn't realize that it was all repeated material, like Umu pointed out, but that makes it even more crazy. All right, everybody. Happy Halloween! Ha ha ho ho!
해. 싫다고 말해.
싫다고 말해.